Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome. This is about the Tom Clancy's Recon Breakpoint Ghost Experience update. It's added a whole bunch of new features, predominantly aimed at the hardcore realism players like myself. So I thought I'd have a little look, and at the end of the video I'll discuss all of the features that have come. But I decided to go out and create a brand new profile. This guy has absolutely no class, no decent weapons, nothing at all. I left base with a DMR, but accidentally at some point I have picked up just a generic rifle and scope, so it's going to make this a lot harder. I had a couple of goes at doing this. This is a full wolf base. You can see there's some non-wolf units sort of protecting the outskirts of the base. But predominantly inside we've got a whole bunch of sniper nests, not all of which have snipers in. And one of these, the Malphus drone. A terrible drone, really bloody dangerous. And the drone itself is sort of basically rotating clockwise around the base. And the way that I've decided to attack this base is to basically follow the drone. So as the drone is going around clockwise, I will follow behind it, taking out as many of the wolves as I can. So I think I can get about between 5 and 10 wolves taken down and neutralised before the drone spots anybody. And you'll notice that when the drone does spot a dead body, the whole base goes onto alert. Now what happens then is that they all head towards where the drone has discovered a dead body, obviously to hunt me down. But by that point I'm already halfway around the other side of the base and trying to clear up again another 5 or 10 enemies whilst everyone is sort of looking the other way. Now it's not easy, it really isn't very simple, and definitely some changes, especially to the drones, have made things a little bit different. But personally I'm looking for a realistic experience. Now I call it a hardcore experience, but basically what I mean is if the game is realistic then it's hard, and that's what I want. That's what I want to see. But when Breakpoint first came out it was very, very arcadey and I didn't like it at all, and I did share quite a lot of video footage. Do you remember at the very beginning when the helicopter takes off with Walker in it and he leaves the 7 or 8 wolves at the bottom? Well, right from the start I was able to kill the lot of them. They've actually separated them even further apart now, so it's even easier to do it now than it was at the beginning. I preferred it when they were really close together because it was hard. Now it's so easy, it's not even a challenge, it's ridiculous. And I did it again yesterday as part of this new profile, so I mean it really has got so unbelievably easy, anyone can do it now. That being said, the changes here, oh this is a good shot. With that scope from that distance, that was a good shot. And you can see I've got 3 enemies on the front gate here. Nearly screwed that up. Nearly screwed that up. And you can see I'm basically chasing after the drone. I know where the snipers are, I've done my research, and once the snipers are neutralised, I can move about far more freely than I can if the snipers are active. The drone itself is absolutely lethal, so I still have to be careful of that. But the basic premise of the movement and the technique that I'm utilising here allows me to now you may think that was a terrible first shot, but actually I fired a shot to make that guy stop walking so that he would stop, turn and look at me and allow me to get the headshot on him, because he was going to go behind that building or into that building and I had to stop him. There we go. Some pretty decent long range shots here. Now this is my first attempt at clearing this base, and I basically, something somewhere spotted me. So you'll get to see how robust the drones are. Now one of the changes that they've made as part of this update is that they have made your attacks against drones more effective when you're undetected. So your bullets do more damage when you're undetected. See the sun glare there, really not helping me. So there you go, somebody has spotted me, I'm not entirely sure who. But the whole base is on alert. You can see that the drone has just discovered the first dead body and everyone went onto alert, and I got spotted at just the wrong time. So they know where I am, and the drone is going to come look for me right now. And there you go, it's found me straight away. Now I can't even see the bloody drone. There it is. And you can see I'm lucky because I'm behind a rock, so I was able to drop that drone. And I suppose it didn't take too long, but if I was shooting that drone whilst undetected, my bullets would be far more effective. So you can see that's the basic premise of the attack that I'm using. Now the full attack is here, the completed mission is here. I'll show you that so you can see how everything has changed. It's exactly the same thing. I died, I respawned here, and I just tried again basically. So I'll go and scout the base again, work out where all the snipers are, and then you can see how this whole operation unfolded. And I'll talk about all the changes in detail at the end.
All quiet here. Raj, flankers. Something doesn't feel right. Moving.
So my good friend Jimmy Daly is a very good pilot. I'm not so good pilot in this game, and I was sort of testing the theory of how close I can get to the trees. And you can see I just clipped that one there with the undercarriage of the helicopter, ripped off all the propellers, landed nose down. Somehow I didn't blow up, somehow it didn't squash me. And yeah, the logical thing to do after such a crash is to leg it and then eat dirt. Fortunately, I've landed right by this base, so I might have a go at taking that base out as well in the future, if anyone's interested in seeing that. But let's talk about the changes. So they came out on the 9th of November, and they're excited to share with us what the team have been working on. They want to thank us for our continued feedback and support. Now, I think they've got some mixed messages here, because these are predominantly hardcore changes, but they've also introduced a bunch of arcadey things as well. So I'll tell you exactly what I think, but I'm really interested. You know, am I the only person who wants realism in the game? Is that something you want, or are you not bothered? Let me know in the comments. So one of the new features is stealth. This update brings significant improvements to the stealth playstyle, aiming to ease stealth exploration and cover multiple game systems. So it's a hardcore update that eases stealth exploration. I've already told you this. Whilst undetected, players will now be able to deal increased damage to both drones and NPCs, excluding heavy NPCs as they're equipped with heavy armour. Same with the wolves, they've got armour on. You can't really drop a wolf by shooting him in the chest. You'll also see enemies running out of ammo and reloading. That's a great addition, I really do love that. And they've also rebalanced the detection time and radio communication time to allow you to react to enemy tactics. And they've also made enemy mortars less effective, or less accurate, sorry, which I think is a great thing. I think that's exactly what we wanted, because anything that makes the game more realistic, in my opinion, is good. As for drones, many changes have been applied to their detection and destruction behaviour, changes including, but not limited to, reduced investigation movement speed. So when it detects a dead body, it'll be alerted, but it won't be off the charts crazy movement. It's a bit more subdued, and that's a good thing, I think. A bit more realistic. I still feel like if you shoot the propellers off of a drone, it should definitely hamper its ability to fly. But they've also introduced new vertical destruction trajectory. Don't know what that means, but if you watch the drone in the play that I just showed you, it does go very high and very low. Maybe it's that. Reduced destruction sound, so when you blow one up, it doesn't alert everybody in the base, which is a good thing, because that was definitely a problem before. More pauses between attacks. Honestly, I don't see that, but maybe it's true. and no more erratic hit animations. Now, like I say, if you've hit it, it used to do like this somersault thing, and it was impossible to hit it a second time. But I think it should hamper its flying performance, and at the moment it doesn't really do that. It just sort of moves a bit. It's weird. I don't think they've quite got it right, to be honest with you. It says we've also added new settings to the aim assist in order to provide more granularity in your experience, and I use a keyboard and mouse, so I don't have aim assist at all. I think that's purely aimed at console players, and again, you know, for a hardcore update, for a realism update, that's a very arcadey stance to take, but I appreciate that not everyone is playing with a keyboard and mouse, and with a controller, maybe that's necessary. They've also added bullet lure, the ability to cook grenades, and you can pick up and place mines and C4, so if you put some C4 down, you don't use it, you can pick it up again and whatnot. I think maybe you can do that between multiplayer. I haven't tested it yet. One thing they haven't done that I'd like to see is if I've got 300 bullets and my teammates run out, I'd like to be able to chuck 100 bullets down for him, but at the moment that's not part of the game. It's not in the update, unfortunately. So the item wheel itself has got this additional bullet lure in it. It's also got a couple of extra custom slots that you can put whatever you like in. And one of the things I really like is that you can now bind a button to grenade, flashbang, whatever, because it's a bit cumbersome to use that wheel when you're in battle, and it's much easier to just press a corresponding button. Now, one of the things I do like, syringes, based on player feedback. Syringes, you can choose. Another good thing is you can choose if this is how you want to play or not, but syringes no longer heal your injuries. When you're in immersive mode, or as I like to call it, realistic mode, it's off by default, and it makes a huge difference. But when you're injured now, you can't use a syringe at all until you've fully healed your injuries. Now, the problem with that is that when you're injured, you cannot move. You literally cannot walk. I think you need to be able to move a little bit quicker, because at the moment you cannot get out of the line of fire, you cannot take cover, you cannot fall back, you can't do anything because you move so slowly that you give the enemies enough chance to close 50, 100 yards on you, no problem at all. So I think they need to allow us to be able to move a little bit quicker, not enough to run away, but enough to be able to move. The Darkest Night does add a bit of extra darkness to the game. Still don't feel it's exactly dark enough, but it's certainly heading in the right direction. And then here's another weird thing. I don't know who's asked for this, but the ability to clean your weapons. It says here, we understand how important this is for our players, and we can confirm that you'll be able to do so from the loadout menu. Who's asking for that? I don't think anybody is asking for that. I certainly never asked for that, but anyway, they seem to think that that's something we desperately want, so they've added it in. Mass sell, that's a good thing. Weapon dismantling, this is only available in immersive mode, but when you go to a crate you can dismantle it without having to swap guns or anything like that, so that's really cool. Golem Island is now open for exploration. A lot of people did ask for that. Something I haven't really experienced. I haven't even experienced the Terminator, which is coming back to the game, so that's cool. Definitely something I want to be checking out. And I like the fact that they've added the ability for you to customize your gameplay experience. So now you can turn the Terminators on or off, you can turn the Rebels on or off, you can turn the drone presence to minimal or classic, which is normal, you can turn Azrael off or keep it on, you can do the same with the helicopters, turn it off or turn it on. So I mean, it's great, you can really customize the game to what you personally want to do. But I'm very interested, what are you guys looking for? Are you looking for a realistic experience, or are you happier with an arcadey experience where it's a bit more casual? It doesn't really matter to me which way you want it, but on my channel I only talk about the realism stuff because that's what interests me. And I was very disappointed with the game because it's gorgeous, it's a brilliant game, so clever in so many ways, but then there's a whole bunch of really stupid things, like for example, the only way you can switch between single fire and automatic fire is when you're focused down the scope. Why? Why can't that just be a button that you flick on or off? Why does it only work when you're scoped in? Some silly, strange decisions like that. But on the most part, I think the game's heading in the right direction. For me, it's getting more realistic, although they have dumbed down this realism update with a whole bunch of arcadey things, which, I don't know, the mixed messages. Ubisoft, they do something great and then, you know, simplify stuff to make it easier for you. They don't want it to be a challenge, they don't want it to be too hard. I don't understand why. They've added a whole bunch of extra classes as well, which isn't very interesting, to be honest with you, because when you play realistically, you don't even need to have a class. It's not necessary, as I have shown in this video. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on this update, whether you think the game is something that you might be more interested now that they've got all these hardcore elements. It's definitely more like I wanted it to be in the first place, and it's good that this recent update shows they haven't just abandoned the game completely, and it seems like they've got some ideas for the future. But Ubisoft, you know, we bombarded them with requests to make it more realistic, and they have done, but every time they do something to make it more realistic, they make your bullets more effective so that you can drop the drones and stuff like that. Why not just make it more realistic? If I shoot the propellers off a drone, it can't fly properly. That's what we need to see. Not my bullets are more powerful if I'm undetected. That makes no sense to me. Anyway, thanks for watching, and leave me a like. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Goodbye.